word of our power. And we're going to just speak a little bit over you. Speak just a little bit over you. Right here. Come on, y'all. Say by the word. By the word. This is what we're going to do tonight. What do you say? Blessings of blessing. Blessings of blessing. Your pain. Your pain. Your trouble. By the word of our power, we say, erase. Erase. And somebody's been crying, but we say, hello, everyone. So I decided to do an upload today discussing my top 5 personal priorities for 2023 and posing the questions to you guys. What are your top 5 personal priorities for 2023? And the idea that I had behind this is when I think long term and plan ahead, God, or as some of you might want to say, the universe, but I say God rewards my efforts. And by all means, of course, by saying my top 5, this is not an exhaustive list whatsoever. Um, it's just a thing where I always, when people ask me about, how do I do better? How do I reach my goals? What do I need to do to be more productive in my life? I always advise them to make sure your goals are visible. I mean, literally visible. Put them up in your bathroom. If you can't have a big poster, just have a sticky note with a goal on it, a mantra, an affirmation. But or if you have a journal that you open every day or every night, just make sure your goals are literally visible. Write them down. So I'm taking my own advice and I'm letting you know the things that are priorities to me this year.
Gucci who? Gucci Mane? Was on the list. Eminem went on it. Shout out my nigga Gucci. Shout out my nigga Gucci. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shout out my nigga Gucci.
And my number one priority for 2023, of course, I'm a single mom, is parenting. I have to be a co-parent to my child's father. And then, you know, I just thought about the fact that parenting is hard. Parenting is not easy whatsoever. And we can't judge ourselves. We just have to do what works for us. I have to do what works for me. You have to do what works for you and your household, not what I do, not what others do. There's a quote that I read recently that said, children are things to be molded. Children are not things to be molded. Excuse me. Children are not things to be molded, but are people to be unfolded. So, just be blessed in the basic awareness of knowing that you don't have all the answers. We don't have to have all answers. In this, humbleness is the strength guiding all toward their own true nature. The most profound thing that we have to offer our children is our own healing. So, and when I say the most profound thing we have to offer our own children is our own healing, that's where the second part of number one comes from, the reparenting. Reparenting is a new concept that I've recently started to learn more about. It's the practice of going back to your own inner child to inquire, um, to comfort, to listen, and to love yourself as that 10-year-old, that 5-year-old, that 13-year-old, that 15-year-old, however age you were when you feel like you weren't getting all you needed from your parenting. It is about being there for yourself as a means of nurturing the little version of you by saying, I'm sorry this happened to you, or I'm sorry this happened to us. Here's what we need now, or here's what I need now. And then walking towards those needs with the support of your, or working towards those needs with the support of your current self. So, number one for me in 2023 is parenting and reparenting so that I can be the best parent that I could possibly imagine being. Oh my God, and I just got a new phone! Oh my God. It's iPhone 14, I'm asking me. Oh my God. Thank you. You got a brand new phone. Wait, what happened? I just got a new phone, bro. I just got to finish forever, bro. God is great, God is good. Leaning into love.
And nothing hurts anymore, I feel kind of free. We're still the kids we used to be. I put my hand on the stove.
I won't even lie. That's my favorite TikTok from 2022. I brought that into 2023 because I just think I love that song. I had to find the song and everything. Um, and I just love how happy this couple looks. But and then down here with the big heart face, that's my boo with his face covered up because I can't put him on YouTube. He'd kill me. Um, but just the idea behind this, leaning into love is that I've learned to love myself first, and that instead of loving the idea of someone else or other people loving me. Once I started loving myself more, I literally felt like more love came to me. People respected me more. People were comfortable, I feel like, to be more honest with me in their communications because they knew I was coming from a place of love. I love myself, I love them, and so far they're loving me back. Um, Seth Godin, who is, I don't know what to call him, an IT guru, self help person, whatever. He always says, don't wait to be picked, pick yourself. And I totally agree with that. And I'll add to that, if you want to see the love of your life, look in the mirror because self love is the best love. If you're seeking reinforcement from outside of yourself, you might as well stop right now because you are being misled. I don't know if you're misleading yourself or what, but you have to love yourself and be confident in who you are. You must be fiercely on your own side. Confidence is attractive. Be you and be confident in you. Don't pretend you're being confident. Don't pretend you're loving yourself. Actually do it. And I'm telling you, my life instantly became better when I realized it's better to even be alone for a little while than to chase people who don't really care about me. And that's not just romantic, that's in your life with your friends, with your family, with anyone you meet. Do not chase people who aren't caring about you. If they're not chasing you, don't chase them back. I just say it's best not even to chase. And you see, I put my little baby down on here. And, dating as a single mom is challenging. I have just turned 13-year-old. So it's doable, but it's challenging. I'm not too pressed about it. If I can go out on a date, I'll go out on a date. If I can't make it, I'll just have to say, you know what, this doesn't work for me. Can we do it another time? Can we have a lunch date instead of a dinner date? Like little things like that. Um, and then the big sex word. For me, like I said, not being too pressed about it. You also can't be too pressed about the sex word either. When sex is a priority in a relationship, oops, I said it, the relationship is doomed. Um, Toni Morrison has this great quote. She says, she didn't say so, but it suddenly occurred to her that good sex was not knowledge. It was barely information. That's from her book, God Help a Child. Dating is not an affirmative action. Sex is not a human right. It's okay to follow your heart, but to just be quiet for a little while first. Learn to trust your intuition. Get to know the person, ask questions, listen well, feel the answer, and monitor their behavior. Does it align? Does what they say and what they do align? Also, about dating, put a bubble in your mouth. I have a thing about that whole putting a bubble in your mouth. Um, put nothing in your mouth and watch your dating possibilities expand. Watch your weight and mind your mouth. It's not all about putting a bubble in your mouth so that you can't eat and you lose weight, but it's also just say less. Say less. Let them talk and see what happens. Um, when I fall in love, I want it to be like Toni Morrison said in Jazz. No one ever said Toni Morrison was a romanticist, but I love her quotes on love. She says, "Don't ever think I fell for you or fell over you. I didn't fall in love. I rose up in it. I saw you and made up my mind." That's deep. Um, and I feel that. I feel that in my heart and soul. Um, the relationship everyone wants is impossible to find in someone else. Only God relates to us in a way that you know how we are. You know what we sometimes tell ourselves and how we get carried away in how we want people to relate to us. But the only person in the world that's going to relate to us that way is God. Everyone else will disappoint you because if you're looking for those things in a relationship, um, with someone else, you're going to be disappointed. What you're looking for is the relationship with yourself. And once you have that, you don't have to worry about being lonely, wondering why he doesn't call as much. Just have a relationship with yourself, nurture that, and then expand that out to other people. Happiness. And this is funny. This is a New York Skyline pillow from the Pottery Barn. And I decided to use this pillow to represent happiness because New York is a happy place for Bay and I. And also, travel is an example of just one of the things that makes me happy. So, happiness is something that I'm also leaning into in 2023. Be kind. Each relationship you have with another person reflects the relationship you have with yourself. So, here are a couple of mantras that I like to say um, about that. Pay attention and lead with kindness. Don't kill a gnat with a hammer. You ever heard someone say it's not that serious? Would you literally get out a hammer to kill a gnat? Keep that in mind. Remember the golden rule: do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's so plain, so simple, and exactly what we need to be doing. Do not give considerable thought to inconsiderate people. Amen. Just don't do it. And leading with kindness, I also say this is something that I believe that may or may not be true, but it's true for me and it seems to work for me. The antidote to confusion, so how to keep confusion down, is often less information, not more. Do not fall into the trap of trying to explain every single thing to prove that you're not lying because folks don't consider or realize that some of the things that they think are facts about you or about a situation are correct when they're totally wrong, and you want to clear the air, clear your name, clear the record. Don't worry about that. You know, sometimes I don't know. I don't have enough information to speak about that. Why do you ask? Things like that. It's an adequate response. Your job is to inform smart people, engage with people who already know what's going on. It's not to help the slowest people in the room catch up. Your job is to be happy, to be honest, to be engaging, to lead with kindness. It's not to explain away your life to the world. And number 5, top 5 priorities of 2023. Number 5 is to get my money up. And the idea behind that is just to do better this year than I did last year with my money. Point blank, period. That doesn't need a lot of explanation. But thank you so much for listening to this video, especially if you got this far. I really appreciate it. What are your top 5 priorities for 2023? I'd love to hear them or read them in the chat or in the comments. Have a great day.